that I wouldn't. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. So good, so good. I got you. Wow!
Okay, so this is the last stop of the day. Just wanted to stop by and to check the bike once over. I'm about maybe 45 minutes away. So this was the saddlebag that got messed up. This is the bolt that sheared right over here. So I'm just checking it. You guys, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's still way too close. So I do need to add spacers, or one more spacer to push it out, kind of like this. Do you see the distance in there? So both bags look good. It's just the bolt that actually sheared, so it's not the fault of the bags, you guys, so don't blame the bags. It's just a faulty bolt, okay? So it's the quality of the metal isn't that good, and I suspected that, to be honest with you, when I was installing it. They just didn't feel right to me, hence why I brought the extra bolts with me, just in case something like that would happen. There were other reports as well of you know, people saying that the bolts have sheared. So thank you for the viewer who commented. Actually, thank you very much. I did see your latest comment. Yes, I understand that this has happened. I've experienced it. I've documented it. This will help the community and educate everybody on what to expect. All right, so let's get on the bike and we can talk about the trip and how awesome it was. Look how cool this bridge is. All right, so day one was not as bad as I expected. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because you know, I actually did 400 miles straight shot. On the way up there, everything was going smoothly, to be honest with you, until we hit the rain. You see that deer? Holy cow, bro. I had just turned on the camera. Did you see it? Wow. If that deer had jumped out in front of me, man, I would not have had time to react. Wow. That was unexpected, but you know what? What do you expect when you have a spontaneous trip out of the blue and then you know, get your stuff together and leave the next day? You know, situation for me personally, unfortunately, that's all that I can do. I cannot plan events in advance. However, you know, sometimes you gotta go clear the mind and cleanse your spirit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, right? Sometimes it's very important to do that, and this is what this trip was about for me. And you go, you refresh and come back in a much better state, if you know what I mean. So it's my first time taking the bike to a different country, an international trip. So I'm super happy, super excited about that, and I was really looking forward to it. So a couple of things to talk about. First and foremost, your phone, okay? So I'm with AT&T, and I have a plan that allows for me to be able to have international roaming for no additional charge, both in Canada as well as in Mexico. However, when I got to the border, it did not work. So my advice to you guys is call your carrier. In my situation, it was a very simple thing. There's a setting, and I'll include a short screen capture so you guys can see what it's about. So it's just a roaming toggle. You just switch it on so that it can roam internationally, and basically you know, you acknowledge the charges that you might incur, right? But in my case, they are free. Second of all is I encourage you guys to call your credit card companies to make sure that they are aware of international charges, okay? So that's the other thing that I did. Third of all, I don't know, how do you guys do it? Is it 3 this way or is it 3 this way, right? Anyway, third of all, This is the right way, by the way. Third of all, make sure that you check your insurance, right? So I'm with Geico. I checked with Geico, and Geico does cover the motorcycle internationally, at least in Canada, right? So that's the other thing. So after the rain, I ended up stopping so I could take off, you know, my rain gear. And it was hot, man. It was so hot and humid. I was miserable under that suit. So anyway, I stopped at this place. I thought because it was, you know, July 3rd, July 4th weekend or week, that the place is closed, right? So, and I'll include some footage so you guys can see. So I stopped over there and, you know, was taking all of my stuff off, and I ended up getting an education in mathematics of how to add numbers, so how to include that.
Then you got, when you do 12,000 in the creation is 7,000 years times 360. It comes out to, just remember, 2520, add 3 zeros, 2,520,000 days. Wow. But
I don't know what it is about me, guys, but I'm a magnet for guys that just, you know, come out of the blue and they come and they start talking to me. I have another story to share with you, actually. On day 2, was it, or day 3, and that was in Canada. I was at a gas station at the end of the day, and you know, I parked up right in front of the gas station after filling up so I can buy some water and, you know, go back to the hotel. And then this lady comes up out of nowhere without any shoes on. She comes out. I don't think I have any footage of it though. She comes out of nowhere. She's talking to other cars and so on, and I'm turning away so that she doesn't come to me. And then of course she comes to me and asks me for a charger, so I couldn't say no, guys. So I did. I helped her. She took my charger, charged her phone, and then during the conversation, apparently she was arrested for something, and she was scared that the police are coming to get her, or she was, man, I don't know what it is, man, but I attract these strange individuals. But you know what? Hey, it's all part of the adventure, right? So day 1, I got there, and it was awesome, man. It was, you know, I've always wanted to see Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, to me, ever since I was a kid, it's just mind-blowing. You know, the scope, how much water is actually going through, the power of it, you know, the sound, everything about it. But I had no idea of, you know, how much of a tourist destination it is. But I was expecting it. I mean, it's okay. I don't mind. I keep to myself, and I enjoyed it. So that was absolutely brilliant. I got to see it before sunset, and then I saw it during sunset, and then I saw it at night, how they light it up, and I got all the fireworks, which is another reason for the trip. I wanted to try out the DASHCAM. By the way, I've had this now for a year. Absolutely amazing. I cannot recommend this Vantrue F1. Guys, make sure you invest in something like this, even if you don't get the Vantrue F1, which in my opinion, after my research and my experience with this is the best that's out there. Okay, I highly recommend that you guys get this. Okay, I'm gonna release another video, full review about this and some of the issues that I faced and how I overcame them. So I also wanted to test it out on this trip. Absolutely flawless, 0 issues whatsoever the whole trip. 1,000 miles. Look, we're at 989 miles so far that we've done, and I've got about 25 miles left to get to the house. Day 2. Okay, so I stayed in Niagara Falls on the US side, right, and I got to see the falls from there. I got to see the lights at night, the fireworks at night. And the way that I had planned it is I wanted to spend the second night in Niagara Falls so that I can see it from the Canadian side. That way it gives me the opportunity to experience the border crossing and just go to a different country, different culture. And let me tell you, man, Canada has probably got the most friendliest people on earth, to be honest with you. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Now, the border crossing, the actual, you know, interaction with the gentleman, I'm going to include some footage so you guys can experience it and see it with me. It was very smooth, very cool, straightforward, really cool guy, the gentleman that I got. Straightforward. He didn't even ask me to remove my helmet, but I have a modular helmet, so I was able to open it. He checked it, and he said, yeah, it's all good, you don't have to take it off. and told me where to go to try to get some nice pictures and everything. So yeah, I loved it. Now the problem is you have to factor when you're on a bike and it's summertime, you have to factor that you're going to be sitting on that bridge waiting to cross the bridge and cross the border for an extended amount of time. In my case, it was maybe what, 45 minutes, I think, close to maybe 35, somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour. And my dumbass, I didn't take my jacket off. I don't know why, but because I barely take the jacket off, to be honest with you guys. I don't like to ride without any gear, but I should have taken it off. I didn't. It was so hot, man. It was miserable. So that's my advice to you guys, is make sure if you're going to be on that border crossing, take your gear off so that you don't overheat. Seeing the falls from the Canadian side, oh my goodness, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I, of course, I will include the footage so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. And I was so lucky, the room that I got was overlooking the falls, so I got to see that all day, all night, and first thing in the morning while you're having your coffee, you're sitting there looking at it. Absolutely amazing. I loved it. So yeah, it was so rewarding, so refreshing to take this trip. Now, on that second day, I actually decided, spur of the moment kind of thing, and I regret doing that, but I said, you know what, I'm in Canada, why don't you go to Toronto, Gus, and see what that's about. So I decided to go there. Well, I didn't know. It's a huge city, you know, huge city with I don't know how many millions of people over there, but traffic was hell. It was a disaster of a trip, to be honest with you. Man, it was 2 hours in traffic. I was miserable, but anyway, I made it there. I did a quick loop, and then I turned back around and I left as soon as I could, because I was so scared of getting caught in you know, afternoon rush hour or something. So I couldn't wait to get out. Man, a beautiful city, of course. I wish I had more time to stay there. I wish I had more time to be able to see slight. Sorry about that slight, man, but I know it was a working day for you guys over there, and I overlooked that, and I didn't want to inconvenience you or anything like that. So next time we'll get together, man, I promise. The cool thing about it is that I spent the night on the Canada side on July 4th. So I got to see the whole fireworks show from the Canadian side over the falls itself. I'm going to show you some footage. It looks awesome. So yeah, that was fantastic. I'm so excited, so happy. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys, I had taken cash with me because I didn't know what to expect, and I was worried that you know, my cards were not going to work. Didn't need them at all. You know, the cards worked everywhere, gas stations, restaurants, at you know, little shops and what have you. Worked just fine, didn't have any issues whatsoever. I ended the second day with the situation with the saddlebags, so that kind of put a little bit of a damper on it because it happened late in the evening. I didn't have time to look at it, to work on it. I was so tired and miserable after, you know, spending the whole day in traffic. I'm like, forget it, man, I'll tackle it the next day. So what I had done is I had done some research to find motorcycle shops around Niagara Falls, and there were a couple, so that was great. And it was July 5th, the next morning, and they were open. So that was my backup plan in case I couldn't get it out myself. I said, okay, I can ride it to the store, V-Twin Cycles, I think, whatever. I'll show a link of the place. So yeah, I was gonna go there. They open at 9 o'clock in the morning, but you know, I went down early in the morning and I was able to do it myself with the tools that I had. You guys can see it. So need to figure it out. I'm in Canada, so good thing I brought spares with me. Here is the damage that we're looking at. So we gotta figure out how to get this out. What I'm using is the all on the multi-tool and trying to turn it this way. Okay, brutal, I know, but on the road you got to do what you got to do, right? This is the best feeling in the world. It's so satisfying to pull this out, you guys. I cannot even describe it. Being so far away from home, wow. Look at this. Oh my God, I feel so good now.
So good.
Look.
So good.
Oh man,
'Cause I got you.
finally.
I'm so relieved that I was able to take care of that. The bolts that I had were able to hold it in place. I could have ridden with it that way, but you know what? There's a Home Depot not that far away, you know, from where I was, and this guy is up my ass. Relax, bro. So like I was saying, I ended up going to Home Depot so that I can get the longer bolts, and I did that, installed it, all good to go. As you can see, it's still on after coming back to 400 miles over 2 days, so not a problem whatsoever. I think it was a combination of me, you know, overloading the saddlebag with heavy stuff, the weight of the actual saddlebags themselves, and the quality of the bolts that created that problem. Anyway, it is what it is, right? The next day, it was time for me to go back in the morning. Unfortunately, I couldn't leave super early because I had to deal with the bag situation, right? But anyway, when I did decide, when I finished the project and everything and decided to leave, it was already too late because the border was jam-packed. It would have been at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours sitting in the sun. I'll show you a small video and a picture so you guys can see how many people there. So did a little bit of research, and I ended up going to a different bridge, which was like 30 miles, or excuse me, 30 minutes away. And it was good that I did that because I took a really nice road, man, right along the river. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. I absolutely loved it. And the other, you know, the other crossing I think was maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad at all. The bike was absolutely flawless. I have 31,581 miles so far, and the bike was flawless. Zero issues whatsoever. It just feels amazing. Everything about it is just perfect. And I actually got an email for one of the viewers, and he asked me great questions actually. So I'd like to take this opportunity to answer all of these questions in case this might be helpful to all of you guys. So the topic is the DCT, and his question is, or questions, right? The first one is, do you regret getting a DCT, or do you have any regrets getting a DCT? Bro, here's what I'm gonna tell you, okay? You know who you are. Absolutely not. The only regret that I have is, why the F did I wait 10 years before researching and finding a DCT? I knew nothing about it when I gave up riding. You made mention about my riding history. Yes, I've been riding ever since I was a little kid. At 9 years old, I fell in love with motorcycles. So yes, I've ridden many motorcycles in different parts of the world, and I grew up around them. I absolutely love motorcycles, right? And I've paid the price. I've made the mistakes. I have many injuries because of bikes, and I try to share those stories with people so that they can avoid making those mistakes that I've made, right? So yes, I do have extensive riding experience. All of my experience was with motorcycles with a clutch. This is the first time in my life that I ride a DCT. Yes, I've had the bike now since 21, so about 3 years. But the DCT is what brought me back to riding, okay? So I gave up riding because I used to ride on the track, all right? And I gave it up because I have an issue with my hand, and of course, you know, riding track once you're on the track, it's very difficult to come out of the track and go back to the street, okay? So I was struggling with that, and then I had a really, not one, but multiple, you know, crashes on the track, which woke me up, so to speak, right? So when you have a significant injury, it kind of wakes you up. So I decided, okay, after the last one, bike was completely destroyed, I rebuilt the bike, and because I wanted to get back on the horse, and I wanted to leave under my terms, okay, under my terms. I didn't want to leave the way that I was feeling at that time. I wanted to leave with that smile on my face. So it took me a few months to rebuild the bike, and then the next season I went back to riding, and little by little I got my confidence up, and you know, the last day was sometime in September, I think, September of 11 or 12, I can't remember, right? 2011 or 2012, I think it was 2011, right? In September, finally I was able to get my groove back. Finally I was able to see the line and carve in. Oh my God, I got off the track with a huge smile. I had, and I have that, everything was recorded. I had those memories, I still have them, and I shared them in one of the videos, actually, the track video for this bike, okay, which I'll reference in a minute. So I beat all of my friends, you know, as if everybody was standing still. I was smiling from ear to ear. That same feeling came back, man, came back. I got off the track, my friend was right with me, and I looked at him and I said, Chris, I'm done. He's like, yeah, I know. I said, no, Chris, I'm done, man. I'm finished. That's it. I got it. I got that smile. I got that sensation. I can feel it right now, to be honest with you guys. I have goosebumps of how good it felt that day. Nothing compares to it. Nothing compares to going on the track and riding at that level, you know, 130 miles an hour and more, and you're dragging your knee. It's incredible, unbelievable sensation, indescribable, right? You just can't quantify something like that. An emotion like that cannot be quantified. I don't care what people say, right? So got off, I said, I'm done, and that was it, guys. I stopped riding. That was my last day to ride a motorcycle until this bike. Sorry about that, you guys. I think that the camera overheated and it shut down. I can't remember where I was, but anyway. So the short answer, my friend, to your question is hell no. I do not regret anything about getting the DCT. Furthermore, I'm not going to be getting any other bike that does not have DCT. This is the way of the future, okay? So this is the way of the future. And the reason why I share this with you is because BMW, Yamaha, and KTM all announced that they're actually going to be making some version of an automatic, okay? It's the way of the future. Second question, why do I prefer DCT? Okay, in my situation, I have a problem with my hand, okay? So my clutch hand, and I was reminded of that on this trip. It was miserable, like I said, and I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, if I had a manual bike in the traffic that I was stuck in for 2 hours, I would have probably tossed the bike to the side and just taken Uber and be done with it. But yes, I have an issue with my wrist, so it really hurts me after some time to manipulate the clutch. And what do you need the clutch for, to be honest with you? I don't miss anything about it. I know there are some people that prefer it. I get it, you know, to each their own, but to me, this elevated my level of enjoyment to the sky. I can't describe, you know, how much more fun this is. I mean, look at it. I just come to a stop. I don't have to do anything. I'm talking. I'm so much more relaxed. So much more brain power is available for me to scan my surroundings. So much brain power is available for me to basically assess every threat and have much better situational awareness, right? So to me, it's a safety item, it's a comfort item, it's also a performance item, right? I love everything about it because no matter how fast you think you are with a quick shifter or what have you, you're never going to be as fast as this transmission, okay? This one click of a button, I'll demonstrate it right here so that you can see. Another click right here, watch this. Now it's in auto. I click one button, now it's in manual, okay? Look, it's in 5th gear, right? Okay, watch this. Bam, down, 4, 3. Look at that. And it rev matches to, watch more. Look at that. Fucking amazing, amazing, amazing system. You cannot beat that. The value, the technology behind it, the performance I took on the track. I can go on and on and on. You asked the wrong person these questions, buddy. So yes, I can list endless reasons why I switched to it, but the proof is in the pudding, right? After trying this, I'm not gonna try anything else. And if you are open-minded, you would do the same, right? Every model that Honda has introduced with the DCT and the manual version, the DCT outsells the manual version, including the Africa Twin. That should tell you something, right? Just be open-minded. It's great that we have both, but don't let your ego get in the way of your decision. That's my only request to you, okay? And I think I've said enough about the DCT. The last question that you asked is, if I did it all over again, would I do the same thing? Absolutely, without hesitation, right now. And as soon as, look, I'm still in manual. I forgot that I'm in manual. Without hesitation, as soon as the new model of the Rebel comes out, and if it's got something even more, I'll go again for it. You know what I mean? I absolutely love it. Nothing compares to it, you know, in terms of this bike. But DCT technology overall, it's incredible. There's no reason for me to go back to a clutch. What for? So that I can be uncomfortable? I want to go on trips, man, just like I just did this one. This is a 4 or 5 day trip. And, you know, 1,000 miles. I've done 3,000 miles before, and my dream is to tour the world. So with that in mind, yes. The only way that I would go would be DCT. Look at this, 31,500 miles, 0 issues, buddy. There are bikes out there that are DCT with over 100,000 miles. That's what I want. That's what I want to do, is just ride and have fun. I hope this answers your questions. If you have more questions, reach out to me. I'm at your service, bro. I love talking about this, as you can see. And to everybody else, thank you so much for coming along, and thank you so much for the encouragement and the love. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing day, guys.